For today. This is our 8th week already. Time flies and we're already at the end of the year. So welcome to you. Thank you for joining. And today we are going to speak about work-life boundaries. Why? This is also a reason why someone may enter into a situation where stress arises, and this stress may lead to even deeper unwell-being situations like depression and burnout. I'd like to draw your attention to this source, Better Health Channel from Victoria, Australia. It is really worthwhile to have a look because this is a site where you find plenty information about health, about prevention, and much more. So this possible cause for unwell-being, for stress and burnout, is cited on this site, and especially this article, work-related stress. So really an invitation from myself to you to take a couple of minutes to have a look, and possibly you find more information about other topics which might be of interest to you. But today, as each time, I'd like to introduce some micro rituals or some micro techniques for you to possibly avoid entering into such a situation. And the topic is really about making clear edges between your work and the rest of your life. So I'm going to introduce 5 tiny habits. They are very simple, yet if you introduce them with time in your life, they really stuck. So the first one is the so-called shutdown ritual. It's a 2-minute, let's say, good night for your workday. And why is it so important? It is important because when you keep having open thoughts, which keep spinning at night in your head, you don't close the day with a purpose, and the brain cannot rest and recharge. So how does it work? The invitation is to, when you come at the end of the day, that you write down your tomorrow's top 3 small wins. Things that you can start under 10 minutes. And you then move everything else to a so-called later list. You quit your email system, your chat, and you turn on your do not disturb. And then you say also, you express to yourself a conscious thought, which is an intention. Very consciously, the work is parked, and I'll return at 9 or 8:30 or 7, and you leave the room. Doing so, you tell really your system that the work day is done. That's the first practice. The second one is titled the 2-window rule. What does this mean, this 2-window rule? It means that you keep only 2 windows open on your screen. One is the one where you do actually the work. And the second one is a so-called reference room, the one window where you look at to obtain information. Why is this beneficial? Keeping many tabs or extra tabs pull away our attention. But having these 2 windows only procures a clear mind and also a real finish line. So how can you work with this 2-window ritual or rule? You define a little piece of work or a task you want to do, for example, to write an introduction or to fix a certain slide in your presentation. Then you open your task window and you open the reference window and you do your work. You take the time it needs. Here is a suggestion of 15 to 25 minutes. And to be quite consequent about this task, in case you need another reference window, you close the other one and you switch to this new one. And when you are done, you save, you close both windows, and yes, you stand up for a breath or an activation of your body. This would resonate with Nora. And so you really create a very clear stop. The third one is called the calendar fence. When the title is already pretty clear, but it means that you protect the first and last 30 minutes. It is also your choice, of course. 30 minutes is not a rule, but a certain number of minutes in the morning and in the evening. Why? Because when you do so, you start your day with a focus. And when you end like this, your brain can stop really working and thinking about your work. So you can, this is a suggestion, you can put 2 repeating blocks in your calendar. The first one would be focus, no meetings in the morning during this window. And in the evening, another one, which is possibly titled wrap, shut down before you go. And in the morning, before you start anything else, you look at the top three tiny tasks you had defined the previous evening, and you start with this before even opening your messages and your email system. And the evening, you repeat the shutdown ritual, and you keep repeating like this, like in a loop. These are small techniques which can be easily introduced, yet they need consequence. And then the so-called message windowing. Why? When we define within our days certain time windows during which we answer our emails, we are not always kept being disturbed by pop-up appearing and telling us an email has come. So we have a clear focus, and this avoids that we are being drained, and we remain calm, concentrated on what we want to achieve during this time window. So how do you do this? It's quite simple. You tell your team, your people, your direct reports, when you have your window open to answer emails. Nevertheless, of course, there are urgencies. Life is never perfect, will never be. So you keep a certain clear path for urgent things like phone calls. But what we can also do is to have saved replies already prepared for certain answers, for common answers, which also increase our performance and our efficiency. Yet outside these windows, the miscellaneous applications are closed. And I'm sure you have already experienced this many times. This is simply a little reminder. You will notice that your mind is quieter and that you have a better concentration for the work you are just doing at this period of time of the day. The fifth one is called notification curfew. So before you go to sleep, 1 hour before or half an hour before, this is really your choice. There is a no disturb, do not disturb on. And before waking, Take also your time to have a certain number of minutes and there are no screens. This is not really belonging to this ritual, but it just pops into my mind right now. Our dreams, the dreams we have at night, are very important. Some of them, it is really our brain kind of rewiring itself, but some other dreams, they are really telling us something. So if you want to keep them and later during the day, search for an interpretation and understand the messages, it is really beneficial to do exactly what is proposed here. Take a couple of minutes before you jump out of your bed, go to shower and breakfast. And what will happen? These dreams will kind of pop up again. Then you take 3 to 5 minutes and you write them down. And here I speak really from experience. I've been doing this for years and still do when certain very powerful dreams happen, which has again been the case in the last weeks. Regarding these techniques or rituals, this is an invitation, a proposition to you. Why don't you pick one or two and then you run them, you practice them for 21 days. And you will feel that something is happening in your life. Your mind is quieter, your efficiency is increasing, and you are less drained. These boundaries, these edges, they are not walls. They are simply shaping. And when a day has a clear shape, the energy also returns. So up to you to choose which one or which ones you want to introduce and start with it or with them. And to continue today, I'd like to propose a guided meditation titled Return to Your Edges. So I'd like to invite you to take a very comfortable position on your chair, the feet grounded, the spine well supported by your chair, and you let the shoulders drop a few millimeters. You may place the tip of your tongue behind your upper teeth. This is increasing awareness. And you soften your gaze, or even better, you close your eyes. And you take a slow breath in and a longer breath out. And again, you inhale gently and exhale fully. And one more time, inhale gently and exhale fully. And let's imagine now that you are coming, or that you are already at the end of the day. So one more time, and as if you are setting down the day beside you. You inhale gently and exhale fully. And tonight, we honor boundaries, the kind that protect what is tender and true. And we feel the points of contact. The seat bones meeting the chair, the feet meeting the floor, and the fabric meeting our skin. And you let now really the gravity hold you. You notice how it's been holding you all along. And now you don't have to hold everything. Ahead of you, you imagine a simple doorway with one word above it, return. Step through. Stepping through means you leave what is not yours to carry at the end of the day. You pick it up again tomorrow if you choose, but for now, you let the door stand like a quiet promise. Before we walk further, gather your attention from the corners of the day, from screens, rooms, and conversations, from things finished and things waiting. And you see fine threads of attention returning to you, like small birds finding their favorite branch. These birds, they know the way home. And now we will move together through the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, each one handing you to the next, like a river meeting the sea and then the sky. We begin with earth, the ground beneath all things. Let your breath arrive in the belly, unforced. On the inhale, think softly, I arrive. And on the exhale, you let your weight settle into your legs and feet, roots growing down. And imagine those roots touching cool soil, then bedrock, and then also the deep stillness under everything. Scan slowly from toes to crown, like sunlight crossing a field. Toes, heels, calves, knees, thighs, hips, belly, your ribs, your shoulders, your throat, your jaw, and your skull. Anywhere that feels tight, let the earth beneath you borrow a little weight from that place. You are allowed to be carried. Notice how arriving makes room for ease. When you are grounded, you don't have to brace for the day that already passed. From this steadiness, earth hands you to water. Stability is now becoming softness. And let the breath find a gentle sway, like your ribs rocking a shoreline. On the inhale, I soften. On the exhale, I feel the throat and your chest melt by a few degrees. Imagine a quiet stream rising the day from the edges of your mind. Thoughts are leaves on the surface, some bright, some heavy. You don't need to chase them. The current knows where to take them. And if a fragment of the day clings, an email, a face, a sentence, dip it into this water and watch it become translucent, then light. Softness is not weakness. It's how life flows around stones and still arrives. And now softness makes space for fire. Not for urgency, but a clean, renewing warmth. And you feel a small ember at the center of your chest, the size of a berry. On the inhale, I brighten. On the exhale, offer that ember, this little fire. The residue of the day, the rest of the day, the worries, the noise, the afterthoughts. And you watch them transform. First in smoke, then glow, and then as a steady light. Let this fire be discerning. It keeps what is essential and releases what is spent. You might name one essential thing now. For example, focus, love, courage, rest. And you let the amber hold it for you, like a lantern at night. And you notice how warmth loosens the edges of effort. Notice how energy returns when you stop leaking it into what is done. And fire now thins into air, warmth becoming movement. You let your next breath be a little wider, more spacious. And on the inhale, you say to yourself, I open. On the exhale, unclasp the shoulders. Feel the back widen as if small windows open between the shoulders blades. Breathe as if every rib has its own tiny lung. Let air travel to the places that felt unreachable a moment ago. The back of the heart, the sides of the neck, and the soft belly. Opening doesn't mean taking on more. It means letting more sky into the same room. And now the air dissolves into space, the quiet room that holds it all. And on the inhale, you say to yourself, I belong. On the exhale, you sense the space around you expand, and you expand with it. Not bigger, just more true to your actual size. And feel the gentle architecture of the moment. Body, breath, and the wide container of being. There is more than enough room here for who you are and who you are becoming. Place one hand at the center of your chest. Feel your rhythm. The undramatic miracle of a beating heart. I silently say, thank you for getting me here. And now you let the circle widen. Imagine support gathering behind you. Mentors, ancestors, teachers, friends, anyone who believes in your becoming. Some you know by name, some you feel as presence, like a gentle pressure at your back. They don't step in front of you. They stand slightly behind and a little to the side. Enough to be felt, not to be seen, leaving you space to lead your life. And from them you receive a quiet assurance, no words needed, just this felt message. You are not alone. If a blessing wants to arrive, a word, an image, a warmth, let it land where it wishes, in your mind or your body or in your breath. Trust its path. And now with this support at your back, we'll gather what you lent the world today. Gently, with kindness. From screens and rooms, from conversations that lifted you and those that drained you, invite your attention to return, like small lights finding their way home. Whisper inwardly clearly, I release what is complete. I postpone what can wait. And I keep what is essential. Picture a simple shelf by the doorway of your mind. Place tomorrow there. Meetings, tasks, choices, arranged neatly. It will be there when the sun returns. For now, the shelf is closed and the night is yours. If any part of you is still buzzing, busy, give it a place to rest. A bowl of water on that same shelf. And tell this bowl of water, you can rest here. I'll come back in the morning. And this bowl of water includes everything which stay there. Watch it settle like a tremble smoothing out of a lake. And now we'll seal this boundary with 3 breaths that bridge inner and outer life. First breath for clarity. In through the nose and long, gentle out breath. And feel a subtle brightness behind the eyes. And now a second breath for kindness. You feel your soft belly, your warm chest, and you let the sternum lift as if meeting a friend. And the third breath for choice. Sense the click of agency. You get to curate what enters your evening. And now you integrate the 5 within you. You sense the earth beneath you arriving. You feel the water within you softening. You keep the fire beside you renewing. You invite the air through you opening, and you rest in space around you belonging. All 5 present, linked and steady. Like a constellation you can navigate by. If it helps, imagine a soft ring of light at the boundary of your body, not a wall, just a living membrane that knows what to keep and what to let pass. It brightens on the inhale and settles on the exhale. And when you are ready, you picture yourself stepping back through the doorway, the one marked return. But now you carry only what truly belongs to you. Your attention, your warmth, your inner compass. Everything else waits outside until tomorrow. Place one simple guiding sentence in your heart for the rest of the day. It might be, I move slowly, or I follow what nourishes, or your own words. Let them fit like a key in a familiar lock. And now you begin to return. You start moving your fingers, your toes. You move your shoulders a bit too. You soften the jaw, and if your eyes were closed, now you let a little light coming in again. And you take one last easy breath, full enough to feel, light enough to keep. The workday is complete. May your evening be spacious, clear, and kind. You are home. After this guided meditation, I propose this piece of reflection for your well-being. Clarity grows where stillness is honored. So pause, breathe, and let it guide you. Clarity crystal mind comes after quiet mind. And then after crystal mind comes one mind. An invitation to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more experiences, more rituals, meditations, and other trainings. We'll meet again, not next week and not the week after, but yes, if you are, let's say, faithful, next week and the week after, because I am traveling to Spain, I prepared something for you. You will be receiving the emails, and there is an invitation for you to self-practice. We will meet again like this virtually on December the 3rd, and it will be also the last time. Thank you so much for joining. I wish you a wonderful week.